Greetings. My name is David Zokaitis, and I'm here to talk about this proposed parking ramp. Now, I've got a strong science background, so when I look at a topic, I try to be objective and clear and just try to figure out what's really going on and why. And I take that kind of perspective at public input here. Hold on a second. Well, my PowerPoint's not working so well. All right, so I try to be clear and objective, but sometimes a little extra skepticism is valuable. In dealing with the city, I've noticed that we've got some unconstitutional laws that nobody cares about. If police commit assault or perjury, nobody seems to care about that. I note pervasive secrecy, so in this kind of environment, we need to be extra skeptical. Okay. Well, okay, so the goal of this parking ramp complex is to accommodate public parking in downtown. We've got a growing city, we need more parking. So that's the supposed goal of this project. So if we wanted to get more cheap parking, the way to do it would be to expand the existing ramp at 8th and Dakota. Chatting with the guys from community development, they tell me that we could get 80 more spaces. Why haven't we talked about that? I mean, if you need more parking spaces, this would be the cheapest, fastest way to do it. So instead, the city is proposing this giant construction project. We're going to have a city-owned parking ramp as the basis and then a nice building on top. We're going to build 525 spaces, but 150 of those get leased to the hotel. So that only gives you effectively 375 available spaces to accommodate the growing city of Sioux Falls. Now, I've heard that the ramp's going to cost about $21 million. If you divide that by however many spaces you get, it's either $40,000 per constructed space or maybe about $60,000 per available public space. And compare that to what this is supposed to cost, and that's a huge discrepancy. So why does this thing cost so much? A couple of reasons. Well, it's a nice, beautiful, new modern ramp, and you've got to support the hotel on top, not just structurally, but aesthetically. Costs more. And then we want the thing to last a long time, so that all adds for extra expenses that the city is due to absorb. Now, Legacy Development wants to lease 150 spaces, but we need to figure out what kind of lease rate they get. Do they lease it at what it costs us to build it, or do they lease it at a different rate? Important consideration. Now, the lease, we need to look at this one a lot more closely. It's supposed to be $1 million lease, but I've asked community development to get the appraisal that this lease is based on. Haven't gotten it. If the appraisal is a secret, we can't really trust a $1 million lease. We need to figure out who made the appraisal and what criteria they used. Very important consideration. And then at the end of the lease, 80 years later, what do we do with this thing? Well, the thing's only designed for 80 years. At the end of 80 years, we've got a dead building to condemn and remove. That's the city's responsibility. And then how do we pick community development? How do we pick legacy developments? Secret committee, secret selection process. And I've asked for clarification on that topic and haven't gotten anywhere, so that leads to more skepticism on my regard. And then, oh yes, we'll have to admit it's a beautiful building and we need to appreciate the beauty that's there. Now, typically when I give these presentations, I like to say we should enjoy life, and no matter how things are, look on the bright side. You'll get a kick out of this next slide. There we go. That's me enjoying life at the recent Parade of Lights. And with that, I bid the city a good evening.